study was designed to equip you to be able to check in quickly with yourself to see how you are doing in all 5 dimensions of your personality: spiritually, emotionally, cognitively, physically, and relationally. It was filmed and distributed to our international staff months ago. So there's footage on a beach with the sea and a calisthenics park that I'm not going to see for months again. So enjoy it. In the description below, there's a link to a Vimeo video that offers a little bit of a lengthier dive into how you're doing in all 5 dimensions. Maybe 7 minutes instead of 2. But it allows you to pay a little bit more attention and to notice a little more deeply the things that you're experiencing. I hope it's useful. All right, good morning. So I'm here at the calisthenics park. I just dropped the kids off for school. I strength train 4 days a week as part of my intentional Thrive practice, and today's workout will be calisthenics at the park, followed by a swim in the sea. And then I'm going to sit down on the beach and chat with you about the Thrive Continuum. All right, so that workout was awesome. It was dips and pull-ups with wind sprints and a 5-minute swim at the end. So today I want to chat with you about a tool that we use to be able to quickly get an accurate assessment of which way things are going in all 5 dimensions of our Thrive. You might remember this image from other videos. Take a second and look at it and see if you can remember why everything is where it is. All right, so quickly the tool. I'm going to take a piece of paper and I'm going to draw 5 lines that start lower on the left than they do on the right. And these 5 lines are going to represent 5 continua, 5 continuums. When we talk about the Thrive Continuum, we're talking about a continuum that moves from sick to well to fit. The kinds of things that make fit people become detrained and just well are the same kinds of things that make well people sick. And the things that we use to train well people into fitness also make sick people well. It's one continuous movement, and we can go one way or the other. The reason why the left end is lower than the right is to represent entropy. If we don't actively take meaningful and intelligent actions toward fitness, then we will always slide backwards. We will always roll downhill because we're always coming undone. Okay, so I'm going to draw 5 lines. I'm going to label them: physical, emotional, cognitive, spiritual, relational, and then I'm going to get back to you. So a quick and rough definition of sickness, wellness, and fitness is this. Wellness is the absence of impairments, also the absence of vibrancy. So you just don't notice it. This is the state of being typically when you're just generally unaware of it. When you start to get sick in one of these dimensions, you notice it because it begins to impair your ability to function, to live, to be happy, to do your work. You might not notice the impairment as quickly as people around you do, but the impairment line is where we move from wellness to sickness. In the other direction, fitness is when you're so well that it actually begins to pull the other dimensions up with it. It has a gravitational pull away from entropy. You're able to use the energy and the stamina and the strength and the resiliency that you gain through your fitness in that dimension in order to pull the other pieces up. And you also notice the same effect on others. You begin to inspire others toward wellness or fitness in that dimension. All right, so given those definitions, I'm going to put a circle on each of the lines representing just about where I think I am right now. How do I feel? How do I feel right now in all 5 of those dimensions? And I might even take a second and review recent interactions with people that are close to me and see, like, is the person that I'm feeling about me similar to the person that I see in their eyes when I'm remembering them looking at me? Who's the person they're dealing with? How well is that person? Okay, so what I'm going to do next is I'm going to put an arrow above each of the circles representing what direction I feel I'm going in. Because it doesn't matter really where you're at on the continuum. It matters if you're moving in the right direction with enough momentum that if you hit a bump, you're not going to fall apart. This is about cultivating momentum toward Thrive. Okay, so what I'm going to do next is I'm going to look at each of these vectors, right? what direction are they moving in, and with what magnitude. I'm gonna look at each of these vectors, and I'm gonna kind of think about why are they where they are, and why are they going the direction they're going in, and what do I wanna do to change that? Is there something, an action I need to take to change that meaningfully? Okay, so my spiritual and my physical are in the fit range. I feel really good, and I feel like those are actually affecting the other areas. They're holding the other areas, keeping them from kind of falling apart right now. And they're moving in the correct direction. All right, so we just had a death in the near family a couple of weeks ago, and it is rough. So it's beginning to affect me, right? It's actually my mom. So what I'm noticing, you'll notice that I dropped my emotional circle kind of on the down end of a well. I probably have moved from the denial stage of grief to the anger stage. I've stopped denying that this isn't going to affect me profoundly, and I've started just feeling pain all the time. And if you ever noticed a guy bang his shin on something, he goes from 0 to angry fast. So that's begun to affect my relational patterns a little bit. I'm not really happy about where those are. And they're kind of they've been trending in a negative direction, similar to my emotional patterns. But since I have noticed it, I'm turning it around. I'm taking concrete, intelligent steps, which would be a little too long to go into in this video, but I can go into another time with you if you'd like, to kind of turn those ships around. You'll notice too that the cognitive arrow is sort of like stuck, kind of going in both directions. It's because I've been noticing an inability to concentrate and sort of a lack of intellectual motivation. And again, wasn't really aware that it was grief until just a couple days ago. Even when I take efforts right now to push it up, it kind of trends back into like a kind of a steady, vague haze. So the grief brain is a real thing. The inability to concentrate or focus or to initiate new things is a real thing when you're grieving. And so what I'm gonna do is leave it alone. I'm gonna check on it in a couple of weeks. And so taken together, I feel like I'm good. We're about to go on HMA, and things may be really sideways about a week and a half after that. But what I'm going to do about a week and a half after HMA, which will be also after the memorial for my mom, also after jet lag's over, I'm either going to do like a deep dive 5D check-in with myself, like I've shown you in another video, or more likely, since I'm on HMA traveling all over the country with 4 kids, I'm probably going to do this kind of quick check-in, this quick vector check, and see if the practices that I'm espousing are adequate to maintain momentum toward thrive.